Do you think it's important when facing a criminal charge to have a lawyer that is experienced in that particular court, in those particular courts?
Yes, to answer your question, yes, I think having a lawyer that is familiar with the court that your case is in is very important. Ultimately, the laws are the same from county to county and court to court in the state of California, but the people are different. And ultimately, when you're working at the trial court level, you're dealing with the same people over and over again with the cases, and having a familiarity with the procedures of a particular courtroom, procedures of a particular courthouse, and who the prosecutors are, who the attorneys are on the case, who the court staff is, how they do things. It's of vital importance. And that is information you develop over time by practicing in those courts and working with those people and developing a camaraderie and trust, and as well as you establish a reputation in the particular court. So, I always advise people, like, if someone calls me and says, hey, I have a DUI out of Los Angeles, will you represent me? I usually tell them I'm not the best person to do it, but we have attorneys at my firm that handle that court all the time, and they would be a better person to represent you for a DUI out of Los Angeles. I think it's really important, especially in criminal defense and child dependency, even family law, even though I don't practice that, to have local attorneys who are familiar with the courts represent you.
And when a judge gets to know you, since the judge is making decisions on so many things in a case, if you have credibility in the eyes of that judge, the judge is much more likely to believe you, right?
Yes, I think that, and that's something that has to be established over time. There's just no other way around that. It's just human nature, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And one of the things I'm most proud of about Wallin and Klarich is that we have devised for many, many years, like decades now, that exact goal, that when we have a lawyer who can concentrate in just one or two vital courts, they become very familiar, whether it be in Orange County or LA County or San Bernardino or Riverside. When someone calls me about a case and I'm in the Tustin office and they talk about a case in San Bernardino, I immediately know that you know everyone in that court and you know exactly how to handle it, whether it's how to get him out of jail on bail in that court or where is the case going to be heard and by what judge. You just know it because you do it every day. That's why it's a very bad decision, in my opinion, to hire a lawyer in Los Angeles to go and handle a case in Riverside, because they likely don't know anything about it. They're going to charge you more money for the time they have to take to get a Thomas guide to figure out where the court is and drive there. And with gas going to soon hit $5 a gallon, let me assure you that you will be the one paying for that. You agree with what I just said?
Yes, I think that's all correct. And, I guess I would add that, there's also an efficiency to having local counsel handle your case as well, because they're going to know how best to, ultimately you're dealing with the bureaucracy, law enforcement, the court system, district attorney's office. There's a lot of bureaucracy involved and red tape. And so having a local attorney who's used to dealing with the players in that system can help make your case go through the system more efficiently, because they know how to deal with the bureaucracy of it.
Yeah, that's sort of what the basis for our law firm is. Having lawyers and legal assistants know so much about the case where your court is going that you have a much better chance of getting a good outcome on your case than someone that just doesn't know that court very and is going to be learning and sort of like practicing on you as maybe his first case or her first case in that court.